Okay, what's up guys? So in the last video, I did some coding for the enemy character so that it runs and walks towards the player, and when it gets to a certain distance, it attacks the player. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on. I'm going to do this same thing for the Android enemy character with the sword and the enemy character with a gun. So what I've done is, first of all, I imported all the gun animations, which is basically just an idle and a walk. And for the sword, I did idle, walk, run, plus 3 different sword attacks. And in the blueprints, all I did was I took the enemy character that I created, the Android. It was called Android Dummy BP, but I created another one called Android Fighter BP, which is basically the same thing as the dummy. And then from that, I duplicated that twice, 2 more times to create the gun and the sword. And now I'm going to show you the adjustments that I'm going to make to the coding because they're a little bit different. So first I'm going to just delete the fighter character from the scene. And then I'm going to go into, I'm going to do the sword first. So first of all, the first thing I need to do is I need to go into the models. And in the skeleton, again, I need to create a socket. This is just in the right, where is it? Right wrist. Just gonna right click and press add socket. And sword BP. I'm going to add the scene, which is just an empty object, and we'll call it wrist right socket. I'm going to parent it under the skeletal mesh, otherwise I won't be able to specify the socket. And I'm going to select the wrist socket. And again, sometimes it goes off screen, so I'm just gonna, all you have to do is just set the location to 0, 0, 0, and there you see it right there. And I'm going to also add static mesh, which is going to be the sword. And I'm going to look for select the sword. Okay, so with the sword imported, it looks kind of big. I actually don't know what scale. Try 0.5. I think that might be correct. Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate it this way, and then from the top view, put it in the right hand, right next to the knuckles. Should be good. And then I need to parent it under the wrist socket. So I'm going to compile that. Okay, so now if I go into the event graph, all this coding, because this whole this blueprint was duplicated from the first Android enemy, there's just some values that I need to change. So first of all, rotating to character is all correct. Distance to player for running, walking, and distance before attacking, all that's going to stay the same. The only thing that needs to change is maybe the walking. To look for Android guard, sword, run, and when it's small, less than 500 or greater or equal to 100, then the animation needs to be Android guard, sword, walk. And if it's smaller than 100, the distance to player, then these are all 1 second long. So I need to go, so from the first, from the previous tutorial, the Android had 4 different attacks. It's the same thing with the sword. So I just need to point it to the two different animations. So first one is sword and Android guard sword attack 1, and then it's Android guard sword attack 2, Android guard sword attack 3, and Android guard sword attack 4. Okay, so I'm going to compile. Then I want to go here and I'm going to test this out. So from blueprints, I'm going to drag and drop. First of all, I should save all. Save selected. The sword, Android sword over here. And when it goes into the ground, I found just bringing it up to 92 should bring it up right to foot level. So I'm going to press play. So initially, he runs at me and walks. And when it gets to a certain distance, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perfect. He's got collisions on it or something. That's why I'm in the air, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so now I'm going to do the gun. First I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to delete this sword, Android sword, and I want to work on this one here, the gun, Android gun. So again, I need to add a scene, which is an empty object, and name it wrist right socket. And I'm going to parent it under the skeletal mesh. Since I do that, I can select the socket, which is wrist right. And I also need to add a static mesh. Call it gun. And I need to specify gun. And it's really big for some reason. I think it's about half. I'm going to rotate this. top view. And I'll try to line it up with the knuckles. We'll line up the trigger with the index finger. Going to right view. Actually, I'll just go into perspective. I think that should be okay. And I'm going to parent the gun under the wrist socket. Hit compile. Okay, now I'm going to go into the event graph. And everything is the same deal here. I duplicated the first fighting android. So I just need to go through this real quick. So the rotation is all the same. Sorry, this is the rotation here. I'm going to have it so that I'm going to get rid of the first one. And I want to make the condition these two nodes. I want to make it so that he starts anything greater. If he's more than 1,000 units away, he's going to walk towards the player. And if he's under 1,000 units from the player, then he's going to stand still and shoot. So I believe here, yeah, his movement is 0, and here his movement is by 20 units in the forward vector. So for this one, this animation, it has to be Android gun walk. So he's aiming and walking. And for this, I actually don't need any of this because he doesn't have any attack animations. I can get rid of all of this. And I can copy, Control C and Control V. This is Android gun idle. So the idle animation is 1 second, so this do once node gets reset after 1 second. Likewise with the walking with the gun. Okay, so I'm going to compile this and then test this out. Oh, what's wrong here? Oh, I forgot to copy the skeletal mesh. So make sure they have the skeletal mesh into the target. Compile. And I'm going to save all. And I'll drag I want to surround. I want to put him way over here. And don't forget to bring him up 92 units. I'll hit play. So now he's walking towards me, and as you can see by the number on the right, he is above 1,000 units. So as soon as he gets to 1,000 units, gonna stop walking towards me. Actually, that's not too bad actually. And just walk towards him, and he looks super small. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so I had a scaling issue. I had to go into the gun, the Android gun, and I had to make him a little bit bigger. So he looks really big. But once I press play, um, he scales down. So there's a discrepancy between the default pose and the animations. For some reason, the animations are smaller, and the default pose never going to be seen. So I just scaled it up to whatever the animations are. Okay, so that's fine. What I need to do now is I need to go to the content folder, and I want something to shoot out of the enemy's android's gun. So I'm going to create a folder called projectile. I'm going to right click, blueprint class. I'm going to create an actor, android, oops, gun, bullet underscore BP. So open that up. Okay, so here I'm going to create a projectile. So first I'm going to add, for now I'm just going to use, let me think, let's use a cylinder, and just see if I make it 0.1. Gonna rotate it. I'm not sure if it needs to be smaller. So just keep in mind that even though I rotated it and the X is down, if you look over here in the bottom left corner, the X is still pointing this way, which means in Unreal, the positive X, is the forward vector. So even though it says X down here, like down, like pointing down, X is still forward for the entire actor. So this is when this projectile moves, it's going to move this way. I want this projectile to be a little bit longer, and I need to go here and create a thing called projectile movement. So I could do this another way. I could use like add a set actor location, like I did for the enemy forward movement, to make this go forward. But Unreal has actually created this functionality, so you can do it this way without having to do any coding. All you need to do really is set the speed. Try 1,000 for now. And for the cylinder, I am going to go to collisions, custom, and I'm going to set everything to overlap. I don't want to block anything. Okay. That's pretty much set up for the forward movement. so with the projectile made, I want to go back into the Android gun, which is where the projectile is going to be coming from. It's going to be coming from this gun. So first I need to add a scene, which is an empty object, and I'm going to name it projectile spawn location. And I'm not sure if I have to rotate it, but I'm going to rotate it anyways to make the local forward of this object pointing in the right direction. And I'm going to try to line it up with where is it? I want to try and line it up with the muzzle of the gun. Doesn't have to be super accurate. Bring it out a bit. And I need to parent it under the gun so it's constantly following the gun. With that, so whenever he's less than 1,000 units from the player, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the spawn actor from class, and I am going to choose the Android gun bullet, which is the projectile that we just created, and it asks for a transform, so I'm going to split struct pin. I'm going to drag out the spawn location. I'm going to pull out of that. I'm going to get the world transform, which gives the location, rotation, and scale of the object. Is the wrong one. Good. World transform. This is the one. I need to right click, split struct pin. I'm not worrying about scale. Scale is just leave it to 1 over here. So I'm just plugging in the rotation and the location. I also need to, right before the spawn, I need to do once. Wrong one. Do once. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's try that once more. I'm going to pull out. Do once. Okay, now it's showing up. So it's going to do once. And I'm going to pull out, create a delay. Leave it for 2 seconds. So after it does it once, if it spawns the bullet once, and after 2 seconds, it spawns another one. So this gets, the do once node gets reset after, I'll try 2 seconds for now. So I'll compile that, I'll go in here, and see if this spawns. So he's walking towards me. He's still more than 1,000 units away. But as soon as he gets below 1,000, there he's shooting now. Oh, I know what's the matter. What's the matter? First of all, it's too big. I'm going to make it smaller. So I'll make it 0.03, and everything will just scale down. And I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I need to go into projectile movement, and projectile gravity scale needs to be 0. I think that's why I was moving downwards as opposed to straight towards the character. I'll compile that to a quick save all, save selected. And if I press play now, okay, he's walking towards me. I'll try to speed it up by walking towards him a little bit. There, he's shooting. So even though he's facing directly towards me because he's constantly rotating to the player character, for whatever reason, maybe it's because the gun is slightly offset. Maybe that's why it's not going directly to the character. It's going slightly to the left, as you can see. But that's okay for now. I'm just trying to just to show you like how to get this to work. But all the tweaking and refining that that could be left for later. So with that done, the next thing that I want to do is I just want to add a collider to the player character so that whenever the character attacks with the sword or with the punches and kicks, it damages the enemy. Okay, so in order to do this, I need to open up the Female Warrior blueprint. Go to viewport, add blocks collision. I'll call it attack collider, and I need to go down and I'm going to do custom. So it's going to overlap. For now, I'm just going to set it to overlap everything. And I'm going to bring it out. So whenever the character swings a sword or punches or kicks, it will make contact with the enemy when the enemy's about this distance. So this, I'm just purely eyeballing. Usually, the reason why I do this is because I don't. In very rare cases, do you need to be super accurate? Like this seems like really crude and I don't know, like really not accurate. But in most games, I don't think like a terrible level of accuracy is necessary. It's just when the enemy is a certain distance from the character that damage needs to be dealt when the player is attacking. So I think this is a good distance actually. So whenever you create a collider, obviously you want to make it do stuff. So usually when you scroll all the way down, it's got a bunch of options. So here I'm going to use on component begin overlap. And automatically it takes you to the event graph and it creates a node. And as you can see, it's another red node. It's like sort of like the instigator node. So whenever this is collided with, basically you need to do the same thing that I did with the gun. So the gun, I did a line trace and I used the blueprint interface. So I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to paste it. Deal. So the target is the other actor. I think that's basically it. So I'm just going to compile. Okay, so actually I forgot one thing. I had to create this variable called can deal damage. So this collider can't deal damage all the time. It can only deal damage when the player is either throwing a punch, kicking, or swinging the sword. So I need to create a branch, and this can deal damage is by default false. So I'm going to get the can deal damage variable, and when this is set to true, which is okay, it's originally false. If it's set to true, then it can deal damage if if the collider is colliding with an enemy. So what I have to do now is I have to go into the attack. When the attack button is pressed and the equip number is 0, I'm going to give it a delay about half a second because the attacks are, I believe, a second long. So halfway point, that's when the attack is making contact with the enemy. So 0.5 seconds, and I'm going to set it to true, the can deal damage. And then I'm just going to copy and paste that. And after about 1.5, duration 1.5, so that's 1 second after this, I'm going to set it back to false. So I'm going to take this whole thing, I'm going to copy and paste it right below the equip number 1, which is the sword. So it's going to do the exact same thing. It can deal damage after 0.5. It's going to be set back to false after 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to compile, and we can try this out now. But before I try it out, I just want to mention that even though I'm using this collider, if you ever want to use a more accurate way of dealing damage, you can create like colliders of different shapes, like spheres, and you can attach it to any socket. Like we attached the weapons to the socket of the player's chest or the wrist, and so you can have like colliders that are like the player's fist or the player's foot, or you can even put colliders attached to the sword. So you can make it more accurate if you'd like. It's not super hard. But anyways, right now I want to try this out. So I'm just going to try it out with this gun character first. So I need to make sure, first of all, that he doesn't die um, when he's colliding with the collider. So I'm literally going to stand right in front of him. A little bit closer. This is so slow for some reason. It's making it very, very difficult for me. Okay. So it seems like it's not doing anything, but once I press the attack button, do an animation. I'm gonna just try and make this a little bit fatter. Okay, so I've figured out a solution that actually works. First I'm going to show you what I did to make it easy for myself. I placed a fighter droid and the gun droid directly in front of the player start. So the fighter droid walks directly towards the player, so I don't have to worry about rotating. Later on, maybe in another tutorial, I'll show you how to rotate to an enemy as you're attacking. So it'll choose like a target enemy, and then every time you press the attack button, it'll rotate. Right now, I don't have that implemented, so it's kind of hard to like have the player pointing towards the enemy while attacking. So basically, what I did to make this work is I got rid of that variable in that branch. Instead, what I did was, if you look at you select the collider and you scroll down, there's this field here called collision enabled. By default, it was query only, but I set it to no collision. So when I go into basic inputs, whenever the attack button is pressed, just say for equip number 0, when there's no weapon equipped, it's just punches and kicks. Then after 1 second after the button is pressed, I set it to query only, and then 1.5 seconds after that, after the button is pressed, it goes to no collision. And same thing for the sword. 1 second after the button is pressed, query only. 1.5 seconds after the button is pressed, no collision. Okay, so let's go try that out now. So if I press play, if I just move the camera slightly on an angle, you can see the fighter droid running and then walking towards me. And when he's within the range of the collider box, nothing happens. But as soon as I press the attack button, I attack, and then he disappears. So that means it's working. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I'm going to take a little break from this series. There's lots of things that I want to add to it. Um, in order to refine it. After this tutorial, I'm going to focus on Unity stuff. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with this female character, and I'm going to do it with Unity. And I'm going to do it for the sake of showing you, number one, how it's done in Unity, but also I'm going to compare the Unreal to Unity and talk about some of the commonalities and differences. So thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned. So yeah, I'll be posting more videos in the near future. Okay, thanks.